of diagnosis and treatment. This is a case that I treated myself in 2006. The patient in question had a leg pain in both legs when he first reached to me, for the pain would not go away with the use of anti-inflammatory medication. And the patient also informed me to feel cold in his lower limbs. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the patient was diagnosed with kidney deficiency. And to treat his energy imbalances, I used Chinese dietary counseling, avoiding raw food, cold water, dairy products, and sweets, and also avoid coffee, soda, matcha tea, and also fried foods, egg, honey, coconut, alcoholic beverages, and melted cheese. And also I did auricular acupuncture with apex bloodletting to rebalance his internal energy of yin and yang blood. And he did the 10 acupuncture sessions and he returned to be reevaluated. And he told me that he improved of his condition of leg pain, but also he improved of one other condition that he didn't tell me, that was glaucoma condition that he was treating for the last 40 years with no improvement, using only eye drops. And when I did the treatment, rebalancing the energy, the root of his problem, that was his energy balances, I was able to treat all his conditions at the same time. In this case, his intraocular pressure reduced for the first time of his life
Hello.
from 40 mmHg to 17
Hi, Dr. Wang.
mmHg. Ah,
Yeah, actually, can you please move the slides? It is on the first page only.
can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
You
you.
can continue.
Here is to show you the tree metaphor that I usually use in open presentation. This tree symbolizing the human body, and this tree is a figure that I am doing a metaphor, which are the point of view by Western medicine, which is the point of view by traditional Chinese medicine. In this tree, you can see the trunk with several branches. Each each branch is representing one medical specialty. In this case, he had the leg pain. It's the least level of orthopedic specialty, for example, but he had the glaucoma in this ophthalmology specialty. But I was not aware that he had these symptoms, only these symptoms. But when he was treating only using anti-inflammatory medication, he was treating only the symptom, but the energy imbalance that he had, that was kidney deficiency, was not treated. And when he went to my clinic, I I treated his energy imbalances, and what he showed at the end of this treatment was he was able to improve the symptoms in the leg pain and also all his symptoms at the same time, in this case glaucoma. And here to show you that yin and yang, in this root there are two theories in TCM, that is yin and yang, and the five element theory. The yin and yang are this symbol that is all the cornerstone in Chinese medicine, is based, the theory is based on this balanced state of these two energies. And yin and yang is energy forces that rule all the world, and all the treatments that I'm doing nowadays is the aim of all treatments aims to regulate the yin and yang energy inside the body. And yin and yang are produced by the kidney, and to yin and yang to flow inside the meridian, there is the necessity of having two energies, also blood and chi. And there is a balance, a regulation inside the body between these four energies to have health. And what I did in his treatment was to balance these four energies, and that is why when he came to me, he had this kidney deficiency. And what I did was to balance using Chinese dietary counseling, avoiding some foods to increase his energy and also to improve the absorption of nutrients. And all these tools that I did, he was able to improve this condition. And all the things that he had, it improved at the same time. In this case, leg pain and glaucoma. And this is why in this presentation I will show you how we can treat patients with breast cancer. And how are the energy deficiencies in these patients that is leading to breast cancer symptoms? In this case, spleen, pancreas, and energy meridian is represented by the fifth chakra in Ayurvedic medicine. And the spleen pancreas play an important role in the genesis of patients with breast cancer because the spleen pancreas is responsible for the absorption of nutrients and production of blood. And when the spleen pancreas is deficient, it begins to form phlegm inside the body. And the phlegm is one of the energy balances that is responsible for the formation of tumors inside the body, benign or malignant tumors. And in this case, all patients with breast cancer, they have spleen pancreas meridian imbalance. And that is why we need to balance again this spleen pancreas meridian using the first Chinese dietary counseling, avoiding that kind of food that I showed you. And the first thing is to avoid dairy products because dairy products is the main food that is causing spleen pancreas meridian deficiency, and also the ingestion of raw foods and cold water and sweet can also imbalance this energy. And that is why this is the first step. According to Hippocrates, make your food your medicine and your medicine your food. And here I will show you two case reports quickly to demonstrate two patients with breast cancer. The first is a woman, 40 years old. She found a nodule in the right breast, detected by mammography in 1999, and she removed this nodule, and the result came that she had malignant cancer. And this patient underwent a low chemotherapy treatment associated with radiotherapy. In 2002, 3 years later, the patient found calcification in other left breasts, indicating cancer again. And doctors recommended the complete removal of the left breast and radiation therapy. A prosthesis was placed at the breast site on the same surgery. And I did the Chinese dietary orientation to improve the spleen pancreas meridian and also to orientate to avoid raw food and only cooked food because raw food can induce spleen pancreas energy imbalances leading to retention of mucus and phlegm formation, allowing to formate tumors, and also to avoid this kind of foods such as chocolate, eggs, honey, coconut, fried foods, alcoholic beverages, to reduce the formation of internal heat. That's the second energy imbalances that can lead to cancer formation according to traditional Chinese medicine reasoning. And also to avoid the coffee, soda, and matcha tea, because all these drinks can reduce the energy of the kidney that is responsible for yin and yang production. And I did in these patients the apex bloodletting is one of the procedures to take out the heat formation that is responsible for the cancer formation in TCM. And also I did the auricular acupuncture points to regulate the yin and yang energy inside the body. And I did the chakras energy centers measurement with a crystal. And what I found that in these patients, I did this measurement only about 18 years after, because when she had cancer in 1999 or 2002, I was not doing these measurements. And she did only after about 16 years after. And what I found that she was completely without energy in the chakras energy centers. And you can see that each chakra corresponds to one element in the five element theory in PCM, and one element corresponds to one massive organ, such as the first chakra corresponds to the wood and liver, the second chakra corresponds to water and kidney, the third corresponds to fire and heart, the fourth corresponds to metal and land, and the fifth corresponds to earth and the spleen. All these chakras were in the lowest level, this meaning that her internal energy of yin and yang, qi and blood production is very compromised and altered. And what I did is to prescribe her crystal-based medications and homeopathy medications according to this theory created by me in 2015, and I published it in 2020 entitled Constitutional Homeopathy of the Five Elements based on Traditional Chinese Medicine. Using this theory, I was able to replenish this energy that was in the lowest level to improve their energy, to improve the formation of yin and qi blood, because this energy is important to the internal energy deficiency in traditional Chinese medicine is responsible for the formation of cancer. And if we replenish these energies of the patient, the own energy of the patient will fight against the formation of cancer cells inside the body, because every day they produce cancer cells normally. And if we do not have our immune system working properly, and it will not fight against this cancer formation. And that is why I usually tell the patients to drink only lukewarm water. The water should be at the temperature of 32 degrees and not cold, because cold water can induce spleen pancreas energy deficiency and maintaining the formation of phlegm and allowing the formation of mucus and formating nodules and the tumors. And this, and why this first case is maintaining the medications. And you can see that in this case, she treated only the breast. They did the surgery and did the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, but they didn't treat the energy deficiencies that was causing the tumor formation in the energy point of view. And that is why in this presentation I am showing the necessity of treating the cancer in the leaf level. Here. Here. The cancer, the breast cancer is here. But what Western medicine is not treating is the root that's impaired. That is why you need to treat the symptom that is cancer, but you need to treat the root also. And I will show you the second case report. Here. This is another patient that she was treating of another problem with supraretinal fluid retention, but what she had in the past is a history of cancer, breast cancer formation in both breasts. and she did a diagnosis by a routine mammography, and she did. And she found at the mammography white focus points were found near the left armpit, and the mammography exams were requests in which the diagnosis of carcinoma in situ of the left breast was confirmed, and the patient's mastologist doctor underwent prostatectomy plus 28 days of radiotherapy, which did not require chemotherapy. And unfortunately, at the end of 2015, new white focal point outbreaks were found in the same breast and the same place. And this time, the patient underwent a complete mastectomy, removing the entire breast. And the skin, stiffened by the radiation therapy, can only support a breast suspender 6 months after the removal. And for prevention, the patient also decided to remove the right breast and both nipples. And when the patient came to me, I performed the radiesthesia procedure and showed that she was very weakened in energy of the chakras energy centers, meaning that her formation of yin and yang blood was very impaired. And this energy, according to TCM, are responsible for the energy to fight against the cancer formation inside the body, and that's why in all cancer treatments you need to replenish this energy that in the chakras energy centers to the patients who have condition to fight against the malignant cells. And in this second case, the report also I did the Chinese dietary counseling, avoiding dairy products, raw food, and she also likes to eat eggs. And took out eggs because all these foods can induce energy imbalances. And also, both patients, the case report 1 and 2, also they have tortuous relationships that strongly shock her emotions. And these patients even took antidepressants and lost a lot of weight, scaring everybody who cared about her. And she also, I did the auricular acupuncture with apex blood dilating to take out the heat, rebalancing the internal energies, and also using Chinese dietary counseling and using homeopathy medication to replenish all these chakras energy centers. And there's a study that are saying that breast cancer is a systemic condition, is not a localized condition. I think all cancer patients is a systemic disease, is not a localized disease. The local symptom is only the tip of the iceberg. All the condition that is under the ocean is the energy imbalances and deficiencies that we need to treat in all cancer patients. And in TCM aims to treat all the patients' condition, not only physical, but you need to balance the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual at the same time to improve their conditions. And here are some studies that showing the necessity of doing diagnosis in breast cancer. But what I am showing in this study is that we can do the prevention before the appearance of the cancer in the mammography or in all ultrasound, because when all the patients nowadays in the research that I did in my clinic, not only patients with breast cancer have this condition, but nowadays the majority of patients nowadays have this energy deficiencies condition that can lead to the formation of diverse disease. At the last stage, the disease is cancer, but before this stage, you can have hypertension, diabetes, myocardial infarction, stroke, depression, anxiety, panic syndrome. All these conditions nowadays are in this condition of energy deficiencies. And the first, what I'm trying to introduce is that if we do the diagnosis of the patients in this stage and treat this stage before going to cancer, you can prevent the formation of cancer earlier before the diagnosis in the mammography or ultrasound because you are treating the energy imbalances that is leading to cancer formation before they appear in the laboratory exam. The patient in the case report one improved very much her emotional state after treatment done and recover her self-esteem that was very low. And she didn't have any relapse of her cancer and metastasis after this treatment. And with the treatment carried out in 2019, replenish the energy of the chakra, it is possible to treat the cause of the cancer formation according to TCM because the lack of energy is generating cancer formation. And in the case report two, she reported she improved all her conditions also, and improving also her eye problem condition that was published in another article. And here to show you that the treatment of the replenishing the chakras energy, you need to give the medication according to the generation cycle. For example, if you treat the liver, you can give the phosphorus medication, and after you give the sulfur, after you can give calcária carbonica, you give silicia and natrium muriatic. And here is the publication about the eye problem that the second case report have is the same problem leading the root was the same and the treatment was based on the root treatment in the root of the tree and it was possible to treat the eye disease and it was possible to treat her condition that leads her to the cancer formation. And here's the procedure of eating reflexing. Here's to show you the medications that they usually tone to use to tone these energies. And also in all cancer, breast cancer patients, the first two things is to take out dairy products because dairy products, if you do not take out these um, food, you can increase the chance of having relapse or metastasis of cancer, breast cancer patients, all cancer patients. And here's to show you that the emotions playing the important role in breast cancer patients. And here are the emotions that can harm the energy of each mass organ, such as anger can imbalance the liver, and grief can imbalance the lungs, excessive worry can imbalance the spleen. There is a sound behind. Can you turn off your speaker, please? Thank you. And excessive stress can imbalance the heart, and excessive fear imbalance the kidney energy. And here's to show you some the foods that I usually take out. The majority are dairy products, and also the breast cancer patients usually have heart rate problems in their history. And here's to show you that to treat cancer, it's important to replenish this lack of energy in the chakras energy centers. Because I'm just showing this because in my daily practice, I was able to treat cancer patients when there is a patient that they treated here with malignant cancer of thyroid and only replenish Chakras Energy Centers and doing Chinese dietary counseling and weekly acupuncture with 8-6 bloodletting, it was possible to treat her cancer without doing surgery and without doing even chemotherapy and radiotherapy. And this is why it's very important to do this procedure because we are treating the root and not only the symptoms. Here to show you that the production of blood is in the spleen and pancreas meridian, but the blood also is regulated by the heart, the flow inside the vessels, and all the internal organs are interconnected, and that's why it's very important to treat the entire system and not only one organ. Here's to show you the article that is showing how you can do the replenish the chakras energy. And here's to show you the Einschutz law that was created in 1888 by two German researchers. And in this research, they showed that the use of high diluted medication is very important in these days because these medication can improve the organic process. Contrary, when we use high concentrated medication, we will reduce even more the vital energy of these patients and weakening the patients even more. And that's why cancer patients, the best remedy today is to give high diluted medication. And here's to show you the 5 phases of revolution. The progression from health to disease is divided in 5 phases. And the last phase is the cancer formation, is the last phase. But the three first phases are in the energy levels alterations where laboratory exams are still normal, and Western medicine are doing the diagnosis only in the first phase 4 and 5. And that's why in this presentation today I'm showing the necessity of treating the patients in these three first stages to prevent the formation of cancer to the phase 5. And the evolution from phase 1 to 5 can lead about 10 to 20 years, and that's why we need to prevent and treat the patients in these first stages to prevent the formation of cancer at the phase 5. Here's to show that patients with all cancers, patients in this case breast cancer, you need to have the two medicines in mind, the Western and traditional Chinese medicine, to understand how is the formation of cancer in the deepest level and treat accordingly in the deeper level of treatment. And the conclusion of this study is that it's very important to treat cancer at the energy level of each patient, as cancer is seen as a result of the patient's energy deficiencies, and the recharging of the chakras energy is important to their treatment or even cure of this pathology based on these two case reports presented in this study. And a bigger and more comprehensive study should be done involving more patients with different sets of tumors and cancers to the goal of exploring, improving, and complementing the worldwide treatment of cancer in a holistic way. Here's this publication. It's online. You can search. This is another Hippocrates quote: natural forces within us are the true healers of the disease. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I will be very, very happy to answer. Thank you.
Hello. Uh,
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Wang Lu.
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Huang Wei Ling. Thank you for your presentation, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, ma'am. You have another presentation for the day, I think, or you have completed with the two.
I have another presentation. Do you want me to present now or later?
Yeah, you can present now. No problem.